Welcome to the 2023 Will Be series, our team projections. Today we're going to be starting with the Oakland Athletics. Let's get into it. What is going on? Welcome back to yet another episode of the Normal Baseball Podcast. Today, we are going to be starting our Will Bees, which are our team projections for each team. Last week, we made a power ranking, and we voted the Athletics as the worst overall team in baseball. So we will be starting with them today. We will be doing team projections. We're going to be telling you about how we think their team's going to be. We're going to be kind of outlining their team, just talking a little bit about them. So, Are you ready, Lewis?
Yeah, I'm ready. Should we break down the scoring system that we used for to help us gauge where we put each team? Do you think that we should jump into that?
Yeah, I think we can start with that. And we'll just kind of break it down part by part.
Yeah, that
so
works.
We're gonna start with. First of all, we'll talk about last year a little bit before we do any of that. Last year, they were 60 and 102, so which, like we said, was the second worst record in base. They were 60 and 102, second worst record in baseball behind the Nationals. Just absolutely horrible to watch, and I think their fans knew that too.
Yeah.
They had the lowest attendance in baseball by a lot. And they had the lowest attendance since 2004, when the Montreal Expos only had 748,000 total fans. The Athletics last year had, I believe, 787,000 fans. So absolutely terrible. And most of that attendance comes from their away games. So when you look at their home attendance, it's even worse. People just don't really want to watch. So
I can't blame them.
Let's start breaking it down. I mean, last year they not much to look forward to. We knew that going into last year. I feel like it's the same way this year. Although they did sweep the Astros last year.
Yeah, it's like that random, what was it, the 3-game, 4-game series? They swept the Astros, which was out of character for them, but that does show you it's baseball. Anything can happen on any given day.
That's true. So let's get into it. Their lineup, we based these power rankings on 7 different categories. Lineup, bench, defense, rotation, bullpen, coaching, and energy. So we're going to start up with the lineup. We gave their lineup a 3 out of 10. I think it was brought down a little by yours. I think you gave them like a 1.
Yeah,
I think I gave them more of like a 5 or like a 5 around there-ish. But their lineup is not looking great. They added a couple guys. They added Jesus Aguilar, Jace Peterson, J.J. Bleday, who's probably going to be playing this year. They got him at a trade. And Uestri Ruiz, who they also got in a trade. I think it's going to be I don't think it's a 3 lineup. I do think we might have put that a little too low. But I think there are going to be a couple players in this lineup who are going to be enjoyable to watch all season.
I don't know about all season. I do agree that I think the team is going to be entertaining to watch at points. Definitely, you see your team is coming up to play the Athletics. You might want to tune in to watch, Shea Langeliers. Is that how you say it?
Langeliers.
Langeliers. I'm excited to watch him play. He seems like a pretty good prospect. Like Alex mentioned, J.J. Bleday, who, I hope that he can really succeed because I think that he has the ability to. Those are just a couple of the guys that I would be inclined to watch. I'm not sure where I really... I think that their lineup is going to be really bad, yes, but I don't know how much I would want to go out of my way to watch them if they're not playing my team. you know?
Yeah, no, I can't say I'm going to go out specifically to watch them unless something crazy is happening. Do I think anything crazy is going to happen? I can't say I would predict that. um, I think we'll be seeing a lot of kind of boring games from them, at least on their side, especially with this lineup. I don't think this lineup's going to produce an insane amount of runs per game, really, regardless of what pitching staff they're facing. I mean, Jesus Aguilar, decent pickup. He's a clubhouse guy. Just kind of had nowhere else to go, I'd assume. Jace Peterson, who they also got, kind of feels random. I think the biggest part of this lineup is Ramon Laureano. Yeah. And like we said, the young guys like Shea Langeliers, JJ Bleday, and Uestri Ruiz. I think the young guys and Ramon Laureano are the people to watch.
Yeah, they'll be fun to watch when they're playing your favorite team, of course. I do want to note, we did give them a 3 in their lineup just because I feel like this lineup is too young to be able to produce at a level that is needed to win in this league today. Is that fair to say? Do you get what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying, but that was not even my thought, personally. I mean, you just look at the lineup and you're like, no.
There's no one. There's no superstar.
Not even there's no superstar, but I think one of their guys on their bench should be starting, which we'll get to. He might still start, but I think there's only a couple guys in this lineup that would even, like, I think in the next few years actually be able to produce. Like, I don't think it's too young of a lineup. I think just they don't have.
I think it's too early for them.
I don't think it's too early. I think if they had this same lineup 4 years from now, they still wouldn't be good. I don't think they would be a good team if they had the same lineup 4 years from now.
I don't know. You sure that you don't want to buy in on what would be, I guess, 37-year-old Jesus Aguilar?
I would not like to buy in.
Or 36, my apologies.
Hey, 36 nowadays is not horrible.
True.
So
true. That is true.
That is true. Yeah, no, their lineup certainly isn't good. It certainly can't compete in the division like the NL West, the AL West, which has pretty good pitching teams, especially guys like the Astros and the Mariners. A lot of good pitching there. Oh, and the Texas Rangers, incredible rotation. So I don't think it's going to be able to compete with pitching like that.
Yeah, for sure. I think that just not only is it unfortunate that the Oakland Athletics have not built a good team, it's also unfortunate that their organization is very clearly not inclined to want to build a good team. It's not like they put together a good team in the offseason or throughout drafting and processes. They traded away what was a good team over the past 2 off seasons, which, I mean, I think that they need to take a step back and take a look at themselves and realize that they're doing this whole thing the wrong way.
Yeah, I mean, they got rid of Sean Murphy this offseason, traded him to the Braves. In return, they got a decent return for Sean Murphy, but it's not necessarily enough to be saying, like, that was worth it.
Yeah.
Like, to a certain extent, I want to say, because, like, yes, they obviously had to trade Sean Murphy. There was no point in making him stay there. They weren't a good team with him. It's not like it's like the Yankees trading, like, Anthony Rizzo out of nowhere. It's not like something like that. It's like this is a good player on a bad team. They got a good amount of prospects for him. I just don't.
But nothing that converts them immediately.
Yeah, nothing crazy. Yeah, we'll have to see with that. But Sean Murphy not on the team. They also lost Chad Pinder and Steven Piscotty. So they did lose a couple other guys. Unfortunate, but not like they were going to really go many places anyway.
Agreed. And that's what brought us to our 3 ranking out of 10 on the lineup for what we're calling the Milo scale.
Like I said, I do think it could have been a little higher. I think 3 is kind of crazy. 3 is by far the worst on this list that we have by a lot.
True.
But, it is what it is.
Yeah.
So
it is what it is.
That is our lineup. For their bench, we gave them a 5.6 out of 10. It's not a horrible bench, like, considering it's their bench. Manny Pena, catcher, exists. One of the catchers of all time.
Definitely a catcher.
These are all the projected Fangraphs lineups. That's what we based on.
Right.
Just should have prefaced with that. Ryan Noda, who never heard of, Rule 5 draft pick. Never heard of him.
But from the Dodgers, so he could be, like the next MVP candidate.
Yeah, I guess. Ledmus Diaz, who can be pretty good at times.
Yeah.
And Christian Pache, who I like Christian Pache.
I think he's such a cool
I think
kid.
he should be in their projected lineup. I don't necessarily know if he's going to be in their lineup on opening day or going to be their starting center fielder, right fielder, left fielder.
Well, according to Fangraphs, they have him as a platoon with what I would assume is JJ Bleday. That's what I would guess, just because that's the only outfield position that Fangraphs is projecting an outfielder to platoon with, which is interesting. I don't think that there's any reason as to why Christian Pache, who was he was the centerpiece of the Matt Olson trade coming back to Atlanta last offseason. I think that he definitely deserves a starting spot. He has the skill set and the ability to become a great player, but he needs to get run. He needs to get plate appearances. He needs to get time in the field because he could become something more than what we see him as today.
Yeah, it's almost as if he doesn't play, it feels
wrong.
That Matt Olson trade was just completely useless.
Yeah.
So you kind of have to give him a shot. Just let him play. Let him go out there every day, see what he can do. And if he's really that bad, then get rid of him. I know that's kind of what they did last season, but give him another shot. So,
because I think that out of the 4 players on their bench, Christian Pache has the most ability to become the next Oakland Athletic great. When it comes to everybody in their lineup.
I wouldn't say great.
Well,
he's not going to be like
he would be one of the players on the Oakland Athletics.
Yeah, he's not going to be like the next Ricky Henderson.
I know. I think I said that a little bit wrong, but
yeah,
I'm trying to say that I think that he could become the best player on the Athletics if they give him time to play.
I gotcha. So that's their bench. Like it's the Athletics. It's
nothing to write home.
They don't got no Kyler Murray. Their defense, which is the next category, we gave them a 5.5. They have a couple good defensive players, but like we said, they get rid of Sean Murphy. Shea Langeliers is good at defense, but nothing crazy.
Yeah, Ramon Laureano can really lock down the outfield.
Ramon Laureano, very good at defense. Pache, from what I remember, is pretty good at defense. So they're kind of like middle of the road, not horrible, not the like Cardinals or something.
Yeah.
So
and Tony Kemp too, playing up the middle. He could play. He's going to play second base, but I bet you he has the versatility and definitely the glove to move over to short, third. They can put him anywhere, and I think that Tony Kemp will still play good defense. So that's always something to write home about Athletic fans, or the one guy who's still left who goes to the games.
May I ask a question? A little off topic. Why are there 2? We have a Google Doc sheet or a Google sheet with these rankings on them, and there's 2 of them. Why are there 2 of them now? While we figure that out, their rotation, we gave them a 5.9 out of 10.
There's only one of them now.
Yeah, I was gonna say there it goes. We gave them a 5.9 out of 10 on their rotation. Paul Blackburn, Shintaro Fujinami, who I'm very excited to watch. We'll talk about him in a second. James Caprillion, Drew Runinsky, and Ken Waldachuk, who I am also very excited to watch. Shintaro Fujinami from the Japan Baseball League.
Yeah.
The NBP. I'm excited to watch him. I always like to see these players from other countries come here and see how they can perform against American baseball players
against the best competition
in MLB in a United States based baseball league. I'm excited because we know that in Japan and Korea and these other places where they have these other baseball leagues, the game is decently different. People play differently. People have different strategies. Hitters are different. Pitchers are different. So I'm excited to see what he can do. He was one of the less hyped up pitching. What's the word?
Pitching.
He's not prospect. Pitching.
Oh my God.
He was one of the less hyped guys coming over to the States.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of almost rooting for him to be the best one out of the bunch this season.
That would be fun.
That would be fun. No one expected it, and if it happens, it's really good. He's wearing number 11 too. So,
Fujinami for Cy Young.
I don't know if I'd go Cy Young, especially in a guy in his first season in the States and the first season in MLB.
Yeah, but
after going from Japan.
If you want to be behind him, we got to call him the Cy Young favorite.
No, I don't think we do. I don't think we have to call him a Cy Young favorite just to say we're on rooting for him. You know?
Yeah, I know. I'm just teasing.
No, I got you. James Caprillion, he is a decently good pitcher. Depends on the day, it almost feels like.
Yeah.
They got rid of Cole Irvin, who would have probably been their first or second starter.
Oh, he's on the Orioles now. Yeah, I forgot about that.
Traded to the Orioles. Obviously, last year they got rid of Montes. I feel like there was one more guy that they got rid of this year. They also got rid of... No, that was it. I'm just stupid. But, yeah, so their rotation can be good. Especially with Waldachuk, who has been very promising. Like, he has stuff. You can tell he has stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to watch him as well. Do you have any other comments about their rotation?
I mean, the two guys who I'm excited to watch are Waldachuk, like you mentioned, and James Caprillion. I think they're going to be great, along with Fujinami. I think those three pitchers, genuinely, like if they are throwing back to back, like in a 3-game series, I don't care what team the Oakland Athletics are playing, I'm going to tune in and watch, just because I think that's going to be a great 1, 2, 3 to watch how they all pitch, because it feels like they're all different pitchers. Like, we know Fujinami, we don't know who he is. We don't know what type of pitches he throws, how he approaches the game. We know that James, how the hell Caprillion. We know that he can pump fastballs. We just know that. And then Ken Waldachuk has, like, the deadliest slider I've ever seen. And now, two of them are Yankee prospects, so we did get a lot more in-depth on them because we are Yankee fans. We did watch them a little bit more, so it's going to be interesting to see.
I'm a little... I think you twisted yourself here. I believe you said earlier, this isn't a team that you tune into.
I know.
Unless they're playing your favorite team. But you just said you would watch them when they're 1, 2, and 3 are pitching.
Yeah.
So...
I went back on it. I'll admit it.
I'll watch Fujinami days. That's about it.
Fair enough.
Big Fujinami guy here.
Big Fujinami guy? You're going to eat Fuji apples while you watch Fujinami pitch?
My guess for his ERA this year... Yes, I will be eating Fuji apples.
Oh
my goodness.
Holy shit!
Big spider on the wall. But I will be eating Fuji apples when Fujinami is pitching, yes. If I had to guess his ERA next season, I'm going to go with 3.7.
3.7?
Well,
I was going to go with 1.7.
1.7. All right.
He's going to be Mr. Untouchable.
That would be fun. But yeah, that's their rotation. Moving on. Their bullpen, we gave it a 4.9 out of 10, which I feel like is pretty fair. I mean, they picked up Trevor May. That's really where the 4.9 comes from. Other than that, there's really not that many names on here.
Hey, that 4.9 is carried by all-time legend Trevor May. He definitely is, I think, the only...
He's one of the pitchers of all time.
Yeah, I think that he's the only interesting pitcher on the Athletics. only interesting reliever on the Athletics.
I disagree. I think there's a couple interesting ones. I just think he's like kind of the biggest name, and I think he will probably, I want to say, have the best season for them.
The biggest name, also making the most amount of money on the Athletics this season. $6 million salary with a $1 million signing bonus.
One guy I do want to watch is Sam Mull. He is a reliever. Last year he had a 2.91 ERA in 53 games, so that's pretty good considering you're an Athletic.
As a lefty too.
Yeah, as a lefty, and
right.
43 and a third inning pitched. I think it's good. Yeah. I think that's good. I'm gonna be watching out for him. I think there are a couple guys that could maybe surprise us in this bullpen, but overall,
such as
Mole,
okay,
Domingo Acevedo. I don't really know how to say. I'm not great at pronouncing.
Okay,
not at least to that extent.
But a righty pitcher that was signed in free agency a couple of years back, only has 1 year of service time. Has a 3.8 ERA.
His ERA last year was 3.3. So we'll see. It's mostly just a we'll see, but for now, I don't think we can really say that they are a good bullpen until we kind of see it unfold. That's why kind of our thoughts on the 4.9.
Completely agree with you.
Moving on to coaching, we gave it a 5.
Just because
5. We're not too well versed in the coaching, but based on how we've seen them develop players, we're gonna go with the 5. As Gleyber Torres hits a home run.
nice.
But yeah, 5 for the coaching, just kind of middle of the road. It's nothing like they just don't develop players that greatly.
Yeah.
So.
And when they do, they trade them away when they're still in arbitration.
Yeah, the players that they do develop well get traded away. Yeah. So, lastly, but not least, we have energy. This score was very much put down by what you gave them. Our energy was 2.8 out of 10. I believe I gave them a little bit higher than 2.8. I think Lewis gave them like a 0.5 or something. I think it was something like that.
I'll pull it up.
Either way, I do agree. I don't think this team will be too energetic. There's not many players here that when you look at them, you're like, yeah, that guy's going to bring the energy to this team. Maybe a guy like Ramon Laureano.
I gave the Athletics a 2.3.
2.3. So that means I gave him like a 3.5 probably.
Something. Just average him out.
But yeah, Ramon Laureano might bring some energy to this team. Trevor May could bring some energy to his team. Jesus Aguilar, maybe.
I think Trevor May is going to be the underrated one. He seems, especially if you know Trevor May more than just the pitcher, like the relief pitcher, you know that he is a very big personality guy. He is on social media a lot and all that. And he's very entertaining. I could definitely see a lot of excitement coming out of him, when it comes to the rare Oakland Athletic wins that we'll see this season. But it'll all come to fruition. We'll all just have to see it in play.
I agree. Do you have any other notes on the Athletics this season? I think team MVPs should we go with? MVP will go MVP as a hitter and MVP pitcher. So who would be your MVP hitter on this team?
I'm gonna ride with Shea Langoliers. I feel very confident in his ability.
Okay, I think I'm gonna be honest. I don't like that pick too much because he's a catcher. He probably has a pretty good bat, but I don't know.
I think he's doing well.
For my MVP hitter for the Athletics, I'm gonna go with. I'm having a little difficulty. I'll go with Uestri Ruiz.
Okay.
As long as he's consistently starting. If he's not consistently starting, then obviously it won't be him. Then I'll go with Jesus Aguilar, just because why not? Because I love Jesus Aguilar.
That's fair.
But I'll go with Uestri Ruiz. Sorry, the first name is a little tongue twister for me.
It's okay.
And then we'll go with pitcher. A MVP pitcher for this team. Who do you got?
I'm gonna probably go with Ken Waldichuk.
Waldichuk?
Yeah, just because.
I'm gonna go with Shintaro Fujinami. I mean, I gotta ride with him now.
Yeah,
I can't say I think he's gonna be pretty good, and then not stick with him. So I'm sticking with him. I think Shintaro Fujinami is gonna be their best pitcher this season.
Yeah.
As much as I'd love to say Trevor May, I just can't.
Yeah.
Gotta go with Shintaro.
Fair enough. One last note is I wanted to just talk about a couple of rookies that we could see the Athletics call up just because they are a young team. They can be very volatile in throwing guys up and down when it comes to AA, AAA, all that, and the majors. Tyler Soderstrom. He's a first baseman, catcher. He's in AAA right now. He's a lefty bat but throws righty. And honestly, his stats from last year, he made it all the way from A-ball to AAA in just one season, which is interesting, and he was able to bat 267 throughout 3 different sections of the minor leagues, which is really interesting. Not too much of a power guy. He can hit for power, but only 29 homers and 105 RBIs across 3 different leagues, but he struck out a lot. But definitely keep your eye on him because he's one of the guys that we could definitely see the Athletics call up if they do need a first baseman or a catcher. We'll see where he ends up, but very good prospect. Ranked 39th by MLB.com in the prospect ranking, so definitely just watch out for him.
All right, good information there. I am mad that we went this far in this episode without mentioning that they do have Tyler Wade in their minors.
They do.
Very big. Hopefully we see him this year play
for
the Major League team. I think we will. But yeah, I mean, unless you got anything else with the Athletics, do you think they're going to move by the end of the season, announce that they're moving? They could go to Vegas by the end of the season. I mean, they won't obviously make the move till next season, but yeah, do you think they're going to announce their move to Vegas this season? I hope so.
I'm going to say no. I think I'm internal thing is I don't think that the city of Oakland wants to lose their baseball team, and eventually they'll strike a deal on either a new stadium or an agreement of some sort that can allow the Athletics to upgrade and move out of where they are now into a more comfortable, permanent, more updated home. Because right now, I think it's very widely known that the Oakland Coliseum needs to go.
Fair. No matter what, the Oakland Coliseum does need to go.
Yeah.
I say they're going to do it. Get the hell out of Oakland.
We'll find
it's
out.
Mostly a I hope kind of thing, but get the hell out of Oakland.
Yeah.
With attendance like that, averaging like 2,000 fans per game, get out. The fans don't care. The fans don't care. So yeah, that's really all I have to say about it. Finally, we'll do the whole point of this will be episodes. Lewis, I'm gonna say you're gonna tell me what place you think the Athletics are gonna be in, and then I'll tell you what place I think they're gonna be in. The 2023 Oakland Athletics will be in
5th place in the AL West.
5th place in the AL West. I'm gonna say the same. 5th place in the AL West. The 2023 Oakland Athletics will be 5th place in the AL West this season.
Well, or you could say the 2023 Colorado Rockies. The 2023 Oakland Athletics will be in misery this season.
Misery. They will also be in misery.
Yep. They will be in hell on earth this
Yep.
season. We could keep going. I got 20 more minutes.
Yeah,
of this.
let's. Yeah, no. Thank you guys for watching, viewing, listening. Comment, subscribe, like, and all that jazz if you enjoyed. This was just our first out of 30, so we'll have 29 after this coming out. We appreciate you listening, and let's go Athletics, let's go baseball.
Baseball.
We'll catch you guys in the next one.
Yeah.
Peace.
Peace.